Hi guys, in this tutorial we are going to take a look at drawing clouds with soft pastels or chalk pastels we also call it. So this is the soft pastels that I am using. For beginners, I wanted to tell that I'm using the Brustro Artist Soft Pastel color, and it comes out really nice, as you can see in my art. So first thing I'm going to do is define my sky. When you are working with pastels, you want to approach it like painting. So I am going to start with the area that's the furthest away, and in this case it's the sky, and then I'm going to work downward from there to the areas that are closer. So I start with just a dark blue and bring that value down, and then I'm going to take a light blue and work my way up and kind of a mid-tone blue in between, and then I'm going to use my fingers to kind of smear everything together. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take white and just go along the bottom of the horizon and bring a little bit of lightness up to the top. Now I want the top part to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to grab a brown and I'm going to add that to the blue, and that's what going to do is make it a natural darker tone, and I'm going to blend that in again with my fingers, and I went back over it again with a little bit of blue just to give it a cooler feel, and I'm going to give a little bit of an indication of atmosphere by adding a little bit of little blue on top of that. I'm ready to start with the clouds that are off in the distance, and I'm just using white here, and I'm going to have areas where the white is more concentrated and areas where it's less concentrated. The less concentrated areas are going to naturally make a little bit of shadow because clouds are three-dimensional forms here. I am accentuating it with a little bit of blue and a little bit of gray, and then the reason why I'm using the blue with the gray is because the gray I have is a kind of warm gray, and you want kind of a cool gray for your clouds. Now that I have got a good indication of the clouds in the background, and start working on the clouds that are closer to the viewer in the foreground. And it's not technically the foreground, but just a little bit closer to the viewer, and again I'm just kind of using a reference photo and looking at the shapes that are happening in the photo reference. I also noticed that some of the clouds kind of break apart from some of the other ones, so we'll have some flying up in the air. Now, just like I said before, clouds are three-dimensional objects, so they are going to have a highlighted side and also a shadowed side. In this case, my highlight is going to be on the left side, primarily the left and top of the clouds, and my shadows are going to be on the bottom and the right side of the clouds because my light source is coming from the upper left hand side of the image. I'm going back with some dark blue to kind of create some more of those shadowed areas in the clouds, and again with the gray, and at this point in time I'm just basically putting down color, doing a little bit of blending with my fingers, but not too much if you say to me. I am ready to move on to the foreground, create some contrast between the sky and the ground, and in this case it's a mountain scene, so I'm going to start with some purple off in the distance and add it with some blue, smear it in just a little bit and add some white to create some atmosphere. I'm going to take the base tone of brown and create the shapes of the mountains that are closer to the viewer, and add some yellow green over it to create a little bit of an illusion of grass. I am also going to accentuate that with a little bit of blue, create a little bit of indication of shadow, and I'm going to create some highlights with a white, keeping in mind that my light source is coming from the left. A little bit more white to add a little texture indication. I'm going to lastly add yellow and complete image of clouds using chalk pastels.